Hey everybody, you know those kind of records you put them on and it just seems to cast a spell into the space around you? Well, that's what we're talking about today. So let's check out your Spellcasters. Alright, I think it's kind of a fun category, and I hope you all have suggestions for me, because I have some ones that I like, but I'd love to hear about others, so I'd love to engage with the community. But my first one, just right out of the gate, is this one. Mulatu of Ethiopia. There's something about this music. It's from the late 70s in Ethiopia, and it's definitely influenced by soul and jazz and even rock music. You can see he's playing vibes there in the on the cover shot, and it's magical. I put this record on, and it just, first time I heard it on the radio was here in Louisville on a station called WXOX, which is a small, independent, low wattage, mostly online internet station. And the guy is from Ethiopia, and so he was talking with a heavy accent. He was saying, it's my pleasure to share this music with you. And I turned it on, and I'm like, what is this? And I Shazammed it, and it came up with Mulatu of Ethiopia. And so I sought out the record. Actually found it in Akron, but once I found it, I was just a great record. So something to look for. Mulatu of Ethiopia, a real spellcaster. Okay, and then let's just go straight to Gabor, Szabo, I don't know, but Spellbinder. I think there's a track on this record that's like 12 minutes long, and it's I think the title cut. And Gabor, I just kind of love everything he does. Anytime I can find a record by him, I'm going to go out and buy it. But that one in particular is a real spellcaster, a spellbinder. Can't talk about casting a spell without a little bit of Dr. John, and this one is called Remedies. This is, I think, the second or third record after he had adopted his persona of Dr. John, instead of Mac Revenak, which is his real name, but Dr. John and the Night Tripper. And this one's great. I have that on vinyl. I have this one on CD, which is the Gris, which is Cajun word. It has to do with voodoo. You know, they're aptly named Trippy because they are trippy. This is a fairly recent one. This is Michael Kiwanuka, who I don't think has put out a bad record. I remember the first time I heard him, I thought he kind of sounded like Van Morrison. But wow, every record that he's done is great. And this one, Small Changes, is just such a solid vibe from beginning to end. It's like you listen to the first side, you flip it over, listen to the second side, then you flip it over again. It's a flipper and a spellcaster. We'll have to do a category of flippers. That's a fun category too. All right, I found this record in the cheap bin at Half Price Books, and I bought it because the cover was cool. You know, so it was cheap and cool cover. I'm like, let's see what this is like. So the band's name is Sphere, and this record, you put it on, and it makes my mind kind of go somewhere else. It's in the background and the foreground at the same time, if you know what I mean. And so I think, and this is another flipper. I'll just put it on and flip it and flip it and flip it. And it lets me think about things more clearly, especially when I'm working on something, especially when I'm trying to write something like that. So the band is Sphere, and the record is called Landing. It's on a label out of Olympia, Washington. It was from the 90s. And sometimes it's called narco pop, which I can totally understand why it would get a name like that, because it's you know, it's cool to listen to, but it's also kind of trance-inducing, casting a spell, if you will. Here's another band that's of a similar ilk, Orgone, and this one's called Chimera, which is a mythological creature. This is more like swampy funk, but still a spellcaster. I don't know anyone that knows exactly how to say the name of this band. Cymande, don't know. It's curious. It's mysterious. This record has, I think, a similar energy to Kind of Blue, of all things, in that this was a group of musicians that got together in a studio and kind of without a lot of preparation, just recorded this record. And so there's a life, there's an energy to every song on this album. They did 2 more records, not near as good. This one, and this is a repress, yellow vinyl. I did eventually find an original press of it. I actually found it up in Akron, of all places. This one's been used in a lot of soundtracks, and it's Spellcaster. Straight up Spellcaster. All right, Milt Jackson. You know, Sunflowers with Freddie Hubbard, Herbie Hancock. What a great record. And I think the vibes really are kind of, you know, they're well suited. They're adept at casting a spell just because of the kind of magical nature of their sound. This record, you put it on, and it's just, you know, it's hard not to be in a good mood when you listen to that record. And, of course, my favorite, Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays, As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls. First side of this record is that song. I think it's 15 minutes long. It's quite long. There's a lot of different interpretations as to what it means. Please put in the comments what yours is. Mine, I've always thought that it's like the POV experience of a soldier in Vietnam, and that's how I see the whole thing. The numbers that are said during it. Some people say, well, maybe that's a dog tag. I don't know. What they say is that it was a recording engineer that was playing back the tapes and was saying some numbers to kind of like mark where they were. I don't know. They're seemingly very random numbers. But anyway, if you listen to this, I guarantee it'll cast the spell. It's just a great album. 1980, Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, alone in the studio in Oslo, Norway. Manfred Eicher set it up over there, and they invited Nano Vasconcelos, the great Brazilian percussionist, to come with them. But a magnificent album. It's just, there's so much to say about it. Here's a Spellcaster, Santana, Caravanserai. Whew, man, hard to deny that one. Beck, Morning Phase. Just a solid vibe all the way throughout, and it's an up vibe. You know, it's great to listen to it first thing in the morning because it just really sets the stage for a great day. Just great music on it. I've had some transcendental experiences with this record. I was working on a documentary, and we were driving back and forth in Pennsylvania on the Penn Turnpike, and it was really the worst winter I've ever been through. And there was one song on this album. It's transcendent. And then this record by Beck, Sea Change, which is right after he broke up with his girlfriend and everything. This one is much more melancholy than Morning Phase. But a Spellcaster, and you can't talk about Spellcasters without some Miles. So this is Miles in a Silent Way. This is actually the box set that has a lot of other tracks, more tracks than were included with the original release. It's really, I really love this. Chris Isaak, Wicked Game. This is Heart-Shaped World is the name of the record, but Wicked Game. David Lynch used it to such great effect. It's such a mood piece, a spellcaster. You see where I'm going with this. And this next one, this literally is a spell. It's called Endlessness, and it's by Nala Sinephro, I'm going to guess is how you say her name. This is one I'm really glad that I have on CD and not on LP, because it kind of explores the whole idea of infinity, which sounds, you know, like a pretty big pretty big subject to get into, but the fact that it's on a CD just means it's continuous, and I wouldn't want to have to flip the record over for this, because you want to get the whole experience of all these songs one after the other, and then it really just kind of loops around back to the beginning. So highly recommended. My wife is not a huge fan of this. Whenever I put it on, she's like, what is this? This is weird. It is a little weird. It's a lot of different instruments. It's kind of loosely organized, but at the same time, it's like, you know, drifting off into the universe. So if you're looking for that, this is a great way to do that. And then last but not least, Yellow Moon by Neville Brothers, produced by Daniel Lanois. I think this one even won a Grammy and stuff like that. But just to talk about a spell, you know, that's my blood down there. Yellow Moon. Then side 2, She Must Have Put Voodoo on Me. Voodoo. Just a great record. Great record by the Nevilles and a great record by Daniel Lanois. So I hope you all are enjoying this. Please, I really want to know about some records that you have that are Spellcasters, because I think this is a kind of a cool category to look into. So, and I would love to have some more suggestions on how to have more experiences like that. So please leave your stuff, your ideas in the comments. And let's try to keep this dialogue going. This is a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying it. And, my catchphrase, keep on sipping and spinning. It's the Bourbon Vinyl Time Machine. So I'll catch you soon. Peace out.